Hey guys, so for this episode, I got to interview somebody really cool. Got to interview Dan Argueta from this season of the newest season of Ultimate Fighter. Super nice guy. I thought the interview went pretty well, but my interviewing skills are a little rusty since I haven't done it in a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to have a little intro here because we were talking a little bit before, and so there wasn't like a clear cut kind of starting point. So just wanted to fill you in, and yeah, it was just a really cool insight on how he trains in Albuquerque. So I really hope you guys enjoy, and I really appreciate this time. So let's get into it.
Train all morning and then come up to this. Check this out. I'll flip the camera.
I know where you're at looks freaking sweet. That's awesome.
We're up in the...
Wait, so you live there?
I stay in this cabin.
That's awesome.
In Albuquerque.
Yeah.
We're in the mountains right now of Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who owns the property owns the house next door.
Got it.
And he's actually the one that takes us out for the shooting and everything.
That's sweet because it looked like you're completely in your element there. Like, are you used to that? Did you kind of grow up in the country?
No, I didn't grow up in it. But when I told myself I was staying in New Mexico, Greg Jackson introduced me to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a special missions unit in the military, used to be a Green Beret. And he started teaching me how to shoot and, you know, how to use a bow, how to,
that's sweet.
do combat.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Cause like, I bet, did you kind of grow up in the city? Cause you're from Illinois, right?
I grew up in the southwest suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay. Sounds good. Cool. So like, yeah, I bet it's kind of interesting because you're going from like LA to here. So it's completely different, which is actually kind of sweet, probably because you get the best of both the worlds, you know?
Yeah. You know, not even that, you know, I got the best training partners wherever I go. I'm never bored. You know, the shooting and shit, you know, it's just learning a new skill set. It's, I already know how to be a non-lethal weapon, you know, and fighting. So to become a lethal weapon, but, you know, being hard to kill is, it's a good skill to have, you know, warriors, fighters, we deserve to do warrior shit.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So you're allowed to like talk about the Ultimate Fighter, like your episode with like Ricky and stuff?
I'm allowed to talk about anything up to this point in the series.
Okay, that's sweet. I just wanted to make sure because I was just super interested in your entire episode because it's literally like one of the better ones I've seen. And because I feel like this season did like a really good job of having a bunch of interesting kind of guys in it. And when because it was like,
I agree. It was everyone's professional. Everyone's a good character that, you know, you don't want anyone to lose.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was so sad. Like, cause like I don't know. It's just so tough when I watch you guys' episode. Cause it was literally like 1 a.m. or midnight. And I was watching all the other ones cause I was getting caught up on the episode. And then I saw like Volkanovski or whoever like lined you and Ricky up. I was like, oh God, I got to stay up for this one. Cause it's going to be pretty sick. But yeah. So I wanted to ask you to like start out because I watched your kind of intro one interview that you did with John Morgan or whatever, and I was kind of interested. So like you probably get this all the time, like how you started at MMA. So I just kind of wanted to ask you, you know how you said when you finally met Cub Swanson, like Juan Archuleta after wrestling, after like doing some working and stuff. What made you want to stick with MMA even though it was like really tough? Because you know, like you said, it was probably not the best. It was probably a rude awakening, like starting to get into MMA. You know what I mean?
I think I can attribute it to like my addictive personality. You know, training and getting better at something that becomes addicting. Yeah. You know, and then you put yourself on a path of, okay, I want to get this good by this amount of time. I want to get this good by this amount of time. And I understand that it does take a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of suffering, but that's my path, and it works for me. My dad said something to me a couple weeks ago. He was like, you sure you want to keep fighting? I'm like, of course. He goes, okay, good. You're right there. You're almost there. Your foot's at the door.
Right.
And he was like, it's just crazy because, you have it so good at home. You have a good family. You have a good, good home. You could have worked and, ran businesses, but he's like, how good you have it at home and you choose to suffer. You pay for it. You realize you have it so good that you need to get punished for it.
Right. Yeah.
And I think, it's a part of my mentality. It's, I want to get better. I want to be good, and it takes work. It's addicting.
No, yeah, 100%. What was your major in? Because I know, because you mentioned how you mine wasn't into wrestling and you're going into your 5th year. That's just so interesting to me because you probably gave your whole life to wrestling. You know what I mean? And then to stop.
I was majoring in communication with emphasis on marketing and advertising.
Got it.
My second major was sociology.
Oh, you double majored?
Yeah.
Shoot, so you had a full plate on top of being an athlete too.
Yeah, but it was easy.
Yeah.
I was just so far behind that I needed to get focused. I enjoyed it though, because it carried with me all the way to now, where I understand, my audience. I understand people. I understand that people want to connect with me because I want to connect with people.
Right.
It helps me communicate better, whether it's text, on phone call, video, in person, interview. And I enjoy that. I embrace the fact that it's a skill, and I learned how to, hone that skill while I was in college.
Right. No, yeah, I feel like that's such a good thing, especially because although you probably didn't realize you're going to be a professional fighter, communication is perfect, because I always talk about how it's so cool, the UFC and MMA guys, they're so, especially ones that are super active on social media, I feel like they're super accessible. But other athletes, professional football players or basketball players, they're so hard to reach.
Do you know why?
No, why?
Because they got helmets on. You don't see their face.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true.
You got helmets on, you got jerseys on, they all got numbers, and
yeah, it's way more individual for sure.
Yeah, and there's 24 of them on the field.
22 for football. Yeah. Yeah.
It goes to show how much sports I haven't been watching these last 10 years.
Well, you don't have time.
It's for fighting. It's different because you got fighters from all paths of life. You got guys that grew up in broken homes or troubled past.
Right.
Then you have guys like me, competitors that I just want to inspire. I want to be someone that people that watch me can say, "Damn, this guy fights badass." And he's relatable. I can connect to him. He's funny. He's this. He's that.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing when I was because I watched the episode by myself with my girlfriend, and then I showed my parents, because between you and Ricky, my mom and got into it too. She loved it and everything, which is really cool. And like you said, you're really relatable in the fact that I liked how your guys' episode really emphasized kind of the mental aspect of fighting as well. Between Ricky's meditation and your being so candid with how you feel about fighting. You don't put on a facade. You're really upfront about how it's a legit scary thing to do. You know what I mean? And I appreciated that. I thought that was really cool.
This is what people, what they got wrong when I was trying to explain that I get scared of it. It's not the fact that we're doing something dangerous.
Yeah.
That's not it. Training's more dangerous than the because in training, you get your head hit, you stand back up acting like it never happened. And when you do that, what does that mean? That means you're going to get hit again, right?
Right.
You're going to you're going to keep getting up. You're going to keep getting up. And that's where you take that's where your health comes, where it comes down to your health.
Mm-hmm.
And in a fight, one mistake, you'll just wake up.
Right.
Exactly. You wake up. That's not what I'm afraid of in fighting.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What I'm afraid of is losing. I like people supporting me. I like the hype. I like the fact that, half the people don't want me to win.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's what fuels me.
Yeah.
And that's scary to think, oh man, one of us has to lose.
Mm-hmm.
One of us is going home with half a paycheck. That's what scares me.
Right. Yeah. Because you put in so much time and effort into it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I seriously doubt that like you'd be scared of your opponent, but like the whole just part of the kind of almost the failing aspect. That's the scariest part.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that like you're scared of the fight. Like I didn't get that at all.
Oh no. I know. I just have to clarify.
Yeah.
Even my girlfriend was like, "Oh man, like I don't like that you said you're scared. You never said that." I'm like, "Yeah, because I've tricked myself. I'm not afraid of getting hit, punched with my actual opponent. Like,
right.
That doesn't bug me. It's the what's the word? The uncertainty that we sign up for. Mm-hmm. Who knows? That's why it's like, I always try to enjoy it, like on TV or when cameras are on me, because you never know when it's going to be the last time that you get to fight on TV. Right. You never know when it's going to be the last time that you get to inspire people, win or lose. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have shown the whole clip of after my fight, after me and Ricky were sitting there looking at each other, and I said it was crazy.
I love that.
Because my coach told me, "Oh, get up, get up." So I get up and I sprinted around the cage and just yelled out, I just yelled, "I have the best job in the world." I looked at Dana White and said, "Thank you. This is the best job I've ever had."
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel about it.
Right.
It's terrifying.
It's such an interesting thing too, because it's like you guys were so evenly matched in there that, I mean, like, especially just in fighting in general, anybody could win on any given night. Like, it sounds so cliche, but you put in so much time and effort, and it's just that one day is just the determining factor. Because in football or baseball, you get to play everybody like multiple times a season.
You get 15 minutes to show what you've been doing for months. Right. Bro, I take shits for longer than 15 minutes.
Exactly.
I take shits longer than that. And now I gotta prove to the whole world that, ooh man, my work, it's tough.
I know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
On paper, Ricky was supposed to whoop my ass. And I told myself, I don't care who's in the house with me, I'm gonna deliver. That's what I train for. I train to do things I'm not supposed to do. And that includes, taking a, quick veteran, a young veteran like Ricky to war. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I kind of got from you is I feel like you rise to the occasion, because you have 4 professional fights, 5? 5 professional fights. Yeah. And then does he have like 11 or not? Yeah. Something like that.
He was 10-2 before we fought.
Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. But
he took his first fight, I believe when he was like 15 or 16.
That's insane. How old were you? Because you took it later, and you started way later.
Yes. I started after, sorry, man. When I was sitting out in the backyard, I got eaten alive by mosquitoes.
It's okay.
I started after college.
Yeah.
Because after I got done wrestling in college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you're gonna be turning 28 in August.
Correct.
Yeah, and I thought that was super cool. That whole thing that you want to make it to the UFC before. Oh, hi, doggy. Is that yours?
No, this is the landlord's.
Oh,
he's a big boy hunting dog.
That whole area behind you, that looks just awesome to be like trade at or just like be around. That's so sick. Dang, that's so awesome. Yeah, that literally looks like a place someone would go to for a camp, but you're literally living there.
I start camp and I come up here to the mountains. I get away from everyone.
Yeah, exactly. That's sweet.
Yeah, I like to, like, for instance, I have 3 training partners living with me up here right now.
Yeah.
One of them, he was my college teammate. We've known each other since we were 18.
That's sick.
The other one, he's one of my teammates in California. He Division I All-American college wrestling coach for a top program. Yeah. And the other kid's a 20-year-old up-and-comer. So you got a good group of guys that, every day we drive this station wagon down to the gym.
Yeah.
We train, come home. We come home, and there's the man in the green shirt.
That's sick.
He's about to play catch with his son.
Aw.
I'm doing an interview right now, but Joe Hurst said he's going to play. And then apparently, as soon as I said something, apparently Sam had business to take care of. Damn liar. He hasn't been busy. It was always something.
That's so interesting because, like, was it tough being away from your team and stuff, like training?
No, that wasn't the hard part. Like, I enjoyed it leading up to my fight. It made for the easiest fight week and fight camp ever.
Yeah.
All the food was there for me.
Right.
Didn't have to go sell tickets. Didn't have to freaking call anyone. Didn't have to.
That is nice.
Deal with anyone. I didn't have to torture my girlfriend like while I'm cutting weight and be grumpy. And I'm not gonna act grumpy in front of those dudes. I'm just kind of going through the motion.
Right. So,
but it made for an easy fight week.
Was everything kind of as expected? Because in that one interview, you talked about how you're used to living with guys that you're competing with. So was everything kind of as expected? Of
course. Yeah. We went into that competition knowing that's how it was going to be. And like I test myself, during camp. I'm living with, there's 3 other alphas in the house.
Right.
Yeah. There's 3 other dudes. We're in fight camp, like I'll show you around.
Okay.
So that's Joe. He was my old college teammate.
That's sick.
So this is what the house is set up like. It's for guys who want to take the fighting serious. We got our heavy bag, double end bag, a rowing machine, a treadmill, a sauna. We didn't have enough beds, so we threw the 20-year-old on a couch. This is Sam Kilmer. He's up and comer, jiu-jitsu prodigy. That's one of Ryan Hall's old training partners.
Oh dang, yeah.
Yeah, he's another big name, and he's out here putting in the work with us. Sweet. This is what the house starts to look like. Just get in after training.
Yeah.
Lazy as hell. These motherfuckers drop their bags. Go up to the other bedroom. Chris, your pants on? See.
Dang, yeah. That's sweet.
Where the other guys stay.
You stay up there?
That used to be my bed.
Nice. You stole it?
It's my own bed.
That's super cool. So how many total is it there?
We got 4 guys in here.
Okay, right, got it. And then the 2 you're pretty close with, those are your training partners? Or you're with 3 others?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 2 I'm pretty close with, and then the young buck, we're getting him ready for a debut. He's starting to put in the work and, see what he has to do.
Yeah.
Kid works hard, and now he's making that transition.
Right. No, that's something that's always interested me is, do you just kind of send it or what? Like, do you just have a discussion with your coaches? You're like, okay, yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to turn.
Yeah.
To pro.
Yep.
That's it.
That kid, he's been ready.
Yeah. Which is definitely way better then
because you're gonna see him in the UFC in the next couple of years.
Okay,
he's only 20 years old,
right? And that's one thing I was gonna ask you is, even though you didn't and come like you weren't on the winning end of things, is there any discussion afterwards in terms of like, yeah, well, this is a dude we want in the UFC? I don't know. Can't really comment on it, you know? That's so freaking cool. That's awesome. But what did you think?
Honestly, I'll just say this. I think it's a popularity contest. I think I did show a good fight. I do think I'm ready to step up to that level and test myself again. You know, Ricky's definitely at that level. I didn't expect myself to show out that way and, you know, go to war like that, but I did, and it turned out well.
Right.
I gained some good fans off of it, and I'm happy that I was able to make, you know, other people happy. Just, you know, inspire and entertain. That's why we're here.
100%. Yeah. Cause like, okay, not to be disrespectful to like prior seasons, but like, especially in the 135-pound division. First of all, I want to get your thoughts. Like, what do you think of the 135-pound division UFC, like overall? Like, it's pretty exciting to be, once you're in the UFC, to immerse yourself in that, because it literally, you can be one to the top 50, honestly, and those are tough fights. Like, there's not much gap between some of those dudes, like Kyler Phillips, like some of these crazy good dudes, Song Yadong, like some of these guys are barely in the top 15 and they're absolute killers. So like, it's pretty sweet. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think if you throw me in the mix, I'll disrupt it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because there's so many guys that are just insanity.
I think you can put me in that top, you know, with the top 5, top 10, top 15, top 25. I'll disrupt it. I'll make some noise.
Well, yeah, when you have
the plan is to win it. You know, I started this because I wanted a shiny belt, and that remains the goal, to be the best at what I do. And you know, it's right now, like I said, I know it's a journey, it's a process. Right now, I know with where I'm at and how I want to fight and how I want to just do it, just get the damn thing over with. Like I know I disrupt that weight class.
For sure. Yeah, you've progressed so much, because have you've been doing it for just over 4 years now ish? That's insane. And you're already
it's about to be 4 years in September.
That's incredible. That's crazy. So, and then do you have, like, when you're working at, because do you kind of, I mean, I don't want to say, because you probably love both places, but do you feel that you progress more at one training place than another? Is there like a focus?
No.
Yeah.
I get it's all up to me. You know, sometimes I'll take a trip to New Mexico and I don't get the results I want. Sometimes I'm in California, I don't get the results I want. It is completely up to me on how I'm going to progress. When I come to New Mexico, though, I know that it's hard. I know that other people don't want to do this. I know that people don't want to be alone. Like, bro, I don't like being alone. Right. That's why I have 3 training partners in the house with me. Right. I'd rather it be a friendly alpha competition. Everyone, you know, it takes more than one person to go climb up Everest, right? It takes
Sherpas.
More than one, you know, and to have 4 guys, all of us helping each other climb up, you know, one guy needs help up, one guy needs help up. Okay, one guy keep going, but we're always turning back around and helping each other up. And, you know, that's what I find when I'm out here in New Mexico. When I'm in California, it's everything is concentrated on, okay, I got some of the best fighters in the world with me. You know, I'm friends with them, so I can ask them things. They help me with whatever I need help with. And, you know, I'm inspired by those guys. I want to be there one day. When they believe in me, they put a lot into me. And that's what separates these 2 places. Like in New Mexico, it's training camp. It's like, if you see the switch, like in my photos, like when I come to New Mexico, you always just see me doing warrior shit. What we do, we train, we mess around with the boys, and we're, you know, just doing cool shit. When I'm in California, it's time to play house. You know, all my friends out there that fight, you know, they're all married, they all got kids. And it's almost like practice for me because my girl's in school. She's working her ass off. So when I'm there, I got to work my ass off. Okay, she leaves for class in the morning. Okay, I leave for training. I'm with my trainers. Get home, take care of that side of living where it's just being happy, like everything outside of fighting. Right. But when I'm here in Mexico, we try to keep it everything is warrior related.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet. Yeah. You get you get a balance for sure. What's it kind of like being around some of like the better fighters in the world? Because like, do you ever get starstruck or because it's so crazy? Because no, not at all. Yeah, I know.
They because
like, isn't it surreal being around like Brian Ortega and stuff like that's
no because those guys expect you to get better. They just like I expect to compete with them.
Yeah.
They expect it out of me. Otherwise they don't want me around.
Right.
You can't compete with someone if you're starstruck by them and you're
right. Exactly.
You look at them like that on a pedestal. They want you to do your best to put yourself on an even playing field.
Right. Yeah. Cause it's just so sweet that you were sharing the room a lot of times with the 145-pound champ, and he just seemed like he was just a normal dude there helping, even though you weren't on his team, but he was still there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just pretty sweet.
With Alexander?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't bug me.
Yeah. But it's just super cool though, but, I was going to ask you about kind of your thoughts okay. I want to ask you about your approach because you know how it's 2 5-minute rounds. Like, do you just you're ready to go for just 3 5s or cause I feel like so many guys try to start off super fast, that would just be really hard.
So out here in New Mexico with the amount of cardio that I do, we train for 5-minute rounds, no matter what the fight is.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you never know what could happen. It could be fight week and the main event gets pulled out and you got to move up to main event. Now your fight went from 3 rounds to 5 rounds in the matter of 3 days before the fight. So we train for that.
Right.
Going into the show, I knew to train for 3 5s. During my fight, I got a little carried away. I was like, I'm going to dominate this dude in 2. And the momentum swung in the second. And that's what forced us to go into the third.
Right.
And, that's my bad. And that comes down to experience and fight IQ that Ricky had. And I didn't. Hats off to him.
Yeah. When you're like, yeah, I mean, I can't even, because it would just seem so tough because you guys were both so exhausted after the 2 rounds, you know what I mean? Because you put your heart, because it was literally the best one so far. I highly doubt there's a bunch of other, but I highly doubt there's a better fight than that one. But when you're like, after that, like the remaining time in the house, was it kind of hard or you just kind of?
That was the hard part about the show.
Right, exactly. It seemed like that was the tough part, especially for Raposo. Because it was just such like a tough fight for them.
I mean, Mitch talked about it all the time where it's like, I felt bad for him because that sucked, man. That sucked. I felt bad. I was like, damn, you lost 2 weeks before me and you've dealt with it. That was tough.
Yeah. So you just got to hang because a lot of other like game shows or whatever, you just leave when you're done, but you have to just hang around and keep helping. I bet that's a good like growing experience probably.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It was the hardest thing I would ever have to do.
Really?
After I lost, win or lose after a fight, you want to break it down with people. You want to talk to your coaches. You want to talk to your mentors and say, okay, this is how it went down. I could work this. You want to hear what they had to say. You want to talk to your family, your significant other. You want to break it down. You want to talk about what the hell just happened.
Right.
And so to be stuck in the house for weeks and not being able to talk about it and just having to dwell on it and try to get over it was tough. And it didn't help that, I had 7 stitches in my head, so I couldn't even train.
Right.
I couldn't even get into training. I couldn't train for 10 days.
Right. How does that even work? Like if you were to move on and you had Because that's one thing I've always, because people have talked about fighting in the Olympics and stuff, but it's like, what if somebody just has a freaking war and their face is cut up? Like, how would you move on in a tournament? You know what I mean?
You just had to heal up quicker than your opponent.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Ricky couldn't do any. I don't think he was able to do any like contact training for at least a week.
That's insane. What did you kind of think of his? Were you kind of expecting something crazy to happen? Because every time I've rewatched the fight at the beginning, when he does the little yell thing, I've laughed. I like laugh so hard. It's so funny.
Well, I think he thought like, oh, Dan's really tense. He's gonna bite on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he realized it wasn't being tense. It was being laser focused. I didn't finish.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me when he did that. It was like,
no, yeah, I know. You definitely didn't. You weren't phased.
Don't flinch.
No, yeah, exactly. Because like, you know how you have your pro fights, and I've noticed that they're like in different organizations and stuff. How does that work? Like when you're, especially even now, because you're probably you have your foot in the door at the UFC. So you know what I mean? Do you just go organization by organization? Is it just like a one fight contract per thing? Because
it depends.
Uh-huh.
Some organizations have like a UFC release, meaning if the UFC calls your number,
mm-hmm.
they can release you.
Got it.
Others have it where they're trying to compete with the UFC,
which is
nope, you can't go fight for the UFC. We're better. We need you.
Mm-hmm.
You make us money.
Yeah.
I was fairly lucky. I had a good audience
mm-hmm.
before I even went pro.
Right.
So I was able to get in with the LFA for my pro debut.
Yeah. I saw that.
And then after that, we went straight to Combates because they were going to pay me good right away.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I took a fight on less than a week's notice.
Mm-hmm.
And that fight paid for my medicals for 3 more fights.
It's good.
They kept on upping my pay on one fight contracts. I never even signed a multi-fight.
Dang. Yeah.
So it worked out, and then went to LFA for the last fight because they were the only organization that
mm-hmm.
was holding fights around COVID.
No, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I bet that is not good. Yeah.
And then right after that, about a month after that, that's when we found out about the show.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of guys, if they don't have the audience or don't have the support, aren't around the top dogs, those fighters, there's no attention. You don't care to watch those guys fight on LFA, do you? Or CFFC or Combated or Bellator or UFC. If you can't connect with that person, because to you it's just an average Joe, or if it's just a boring guy, or you don't really connect. You don't care
mm-hmm.
to watch them, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I want people to watch me fight. I want people to be excited to watch me fight because
mm-hmm.
me knowing me, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do my best to deliver something something wild.
Yeah. Well, like when you're walking out with a mullet and a crop top, I mean, who wouldn't want to watch that dude fight?
I'm the only Ultimate Fighter to walk out in a crop top. You're right.
I know. I was going to ask you, where did that kind of stuff originate from? Because I saw your old picture. You just had short hair.
Rocky 3.
Huh?
Rocky 3.
Oh, got it. That's sick.
Apollo Creed getting coached by Rocky.
Nice. Yeah.
That's what we were like, I'm bringing that back. Like,
exactly.
These girls want to start wearing mom jeans and bring back that. I'm going to bring back crop tops for the guys.
Are you going to wear pit vipers in a crop top on one of your walkouts? That'd be crazy. Pit viper times UFC. That'd be sick. Because my girlfriend, when we watched, you reminded her of Slater from Saved by the Bell.
I respect that.
Yes, but I won't keep you for too much longer. I just wanted to ask you like one last thing, or two last things, because we were just talking about it. What was the whole selection process like? Because it sounded like Cub Swanson wanted you to do it, and then you just kind of did it. Was there like an application thing? Like, how did that even work?
So we found out about the show in November.
Mm-hmm.
And since COVID, they weren't doing in-person tryouts.
Yeah.
Everything was done remotely.
Right.
And it was basically I had to apply, put in my references, who I know, this and that. They got to watch my film, look at my social media, all that shit. And every couple of weeks, I would get a text message. Hey, you moved on to the next round.
Oh,
hey, you moved on to the next round. A couple months later, hey, they're telling us, okay, we're going to do this before Christmas. And then they're like, okay, never mind. We're going to do it after Christmas. Right. And then it didn't start all the way until the spring. And I couldn't fight it. I just had to wait.
Dang.
And, there was a lot of things we were trying to balance. I was cutting down 135 for the first time. I was.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that because I noticed all your fights before that, they were at 145, right? Mm-hmm. So that's tough. Probably because I was assuming because since you're away from your team or something, but you like that would be kind of, I feel like that might be harder. I don't know. Maybe you were more focused, like you were talking about prior.
I think I was more focused. Yeah. Because I couldn't lean on my teammates.
Right. Exactly.
The job had to get done no matter what.
Yeah.
I didn't have, it just had to get done because my teammates depended on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even imagine you having to make...
My coaches depended on it.
Right. Having to make that multiple times in a short period of time would suck, though.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're not even used to it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I was going to do it, but it was going to happen.
Yeah. You'd consider 135, that's where you're going to be, though? That's your home? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's going to be my home. I'm going to need time, at least 6 to 8 weeks to make it.
Right.
I could fight at 145 on a week's notice, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, did you intentionally have your weight lower to make the cut less extreme? Because do you know
No, dude. In November I weighed 175 pounds.
Oh, baby. Wow.
I was losing about 5 pounds a month, 5 pounds of fat every month.
Dang.
And I was at 175 and I was only 11 to 12% body fat.
Wow.
So I was jacked.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're by far the most shredded on the scales that I've seen by far this season. Like, not even close.
It was. I'm a big 35er. Really big.
No, yeah.
I did a 15-pound weight cut. I woke up 15 pounds over the days before weigh-ins.
Okay.
The day before weigh-ins. So I got there weighing 155, 20 pounds over, knowing that I'm gonna have to fight in a week.
Yeah. Do you get a heads up before or at that face off? That's when you know.
You get a week.
So like at that face off, you get a week after that, right?
So the day that we got there, they basically say, okay, we're doing team selections. The following day, we're selecting the first fights. Mm-hmm. And then they gave us 5 days to those first fights. And then after those first fights, it was a week.
Got it. Yeah. Dang. That's brutal. But I really appreciate you talking to me. This is super cool. Like talking to you after seeing you on TV and that. You mentioned that you didn't you train a little bit with TJ Dillashaw?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think that fight's going to go down this Saturday?
I think he's prepared. He's working hard.
Yeah.
On paper, I think he wins. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I never like to make assumptions on fights because it's a crazy sport, dude. It's something that I would never gamble on.
Right. Are you a big fan? Do you watch them all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's cool.
It's for me, it's like watching a video game because you're like, holy crap, that guy is when guys are so relaxed and in control, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
They make it look so beautiful, so pretty, like an art.
I know, 100%. I know some the cleanest strikers, especially some of the cleanest strikers are in the 135-pound division. So it's so much fun to watch for sure. But
like I said, with me, I'm there to make sure it doesn't look pretty. I'm there to disrupt that.
Exactly, for sure. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see what your future holds because I think it's definitely bright because you're still so young and you've done it for just not that long. And I can't wait. I'm happy that you kind of achieved your goal of making it pretty because I obviously don't know if you're in the UFC, but you've basically almost kind of achieved that goal of getting there. You know what I mean?
Well, that wasn't the goal. That was just
Well, you said by like 28, right?
That's just a milestone, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I gotta, the reason we said by 28 to know that I'm not wasting my time and that I am I'm progressing how I'm supposed to be being, but
yeah,
the goal is win a world title.
Exactly.
That's always been the goal. You know, I train at the gym where our job is to win world titles.
Yeah.
No one, you know, and it's out of Albuquerque. Everyone always counts us out. You know, everyone wants to see guys from California and New York and Florida. Nah, man, we're bringing the desert.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's sick for sure. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to whatever you're doing. It looks really like a nice evening there for sure. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. You have a good one.
You too.